What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course for yet another Formwork Friday video. And this one we're going to be talking about the Wild West, because if you think about it closely enough, disc golf is like a gunslinger. Let's get into it. We've probably all heard the saying that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And that's so extremely true in disc golf as well. Even one famous gunslinger from the Wild West, Wyatt Earp, said, "Fast is fine, but accuracy is final. You have to learn to be slow in a hurry." That's really what disc golf is all about. Working on your form and making those form changes. Start slow, start small, start smooth, and then get faster from there. It's pretty simple. A lot of people try to link too many things together at one time. You can start off working on form changes, you can start off playing disc golf without a run-up, without any type of crazy throw. All you need to do is just be smooth. The basics of disc golf backhand form are get the disc from back here to down there using this motion. Right? So we can do that in a variety of different ways. We can throw it like this, we can throw it like this, we can throw it like this, right? We have a lot of different ways, and there's a lot of things that you can do with your body, with your arm, and with just the way that you approach the shot that's going to make it turn out really well. And there are some things that you can do that are going to make it not exactly do what you wanted it to do, right? The biggest thing that I see a lot of beginners and even a lot of people that are in the amateur and starting to spark into that intermediate phase is their reach back. They are reaching back below their left arm. Now, I know that some of the pros do this and it's fine, but for the most part, when a lot of people do that, they're reaching back here. So it means that to get the disc to throw forward, they're going to have to swoop up and under, which is going to put a lot of nose up angle on their disc. If you're not extremely practiced at making that not happen, this is what it's going to look like. Almost every single time, if you reach down below your arm, you're going to be going up into the air, and that's not really where you want to be, because you want to be down the fairway. Better, something that you can work on is just keep this arm down. You can stick it in your pocket, you can manipulate your shot, but I like to hold the disc like this until I'm ready to throw, and that's going to keep my left arm below my right arm. See how I'm holding it? My right hand is above my left hand, so that as I go to throw, much flatter, much straighter, and I'm not reaching back below my arm, I'm coming above my arm and throwing through the shot. All right, so immediately off the bat, if you can reach up back above your arm instead of below your arm, you're gonna be throwing a lot flatter and a lot smoother. Do you want to do it from a standstill or or walk up or a run up? There's many different schools of thought. The traditional one being start off slow, start with a standstill. Now, the thing I will say for standstills is, for me personally, this isn't the case for everybody, but for me personally, if I stand lined up with my hips directly pointing at the line I'm going to throw on, I'm going to throw to the right. So I always start a little bit off center for standstills, and this is going to help. This off center canted angle is going to help me throw much straighter and down the line I want to go on. No run up, right down the middle of the fairway. You can do a run up, but in my personal opinion, this is an opinion, start slow, don't run up into it, start with a walk up. Start by walking into the shot and focus on, when you're walking up, focus on stay slow, stay smooth, and then at the last second, something that you don't normally get when you're throwing a standstill is you're going to have that slight bit of weight shift so you can push off of this foot. Maybe 30 feet further. So a little bit of a walk up, just that weight transfer they are going to unconsciously do. Subconsciously, you're going to have the weight transfer. When you're in a standstill, usually it's just your arm. So you're going to have a little bit more weight transfer and momentum into that shot. It's going to help you throw further. Now, if you can get that walk up down and then you need to work on your throwing motion, absolutely go for it. Don't start running up until you can get that arm motion down, right? I worked for so long on getting the arm motion down, and then as soon as I changed from a run up to a walk up, boom, immediately it clicked. I started hitting my throws properly, and I actually have the most accuracy from a very slow walk into the throw than I do from any other standstill, run up, fast walk. A slow, smooth, controlled walk up is where I get the most of my accuracy. That could be different for different people. That being said, work on getting the accuracy, because if you can hit the shot and you can hit the line you want, even if it doesn't make it all the way there, at least you hit the line you wanted. And if you can hit the line you wanted, continue to do that and continue to have repetition, then you'll be able to throw further but still hit the line you want, instead of just being able to throw further and it being a complete spray, right? Second thing we're gonna talk about is bending the arm when you throw. I discovered this, and I realized it when I tried to throw left-handed, that as beginners throw, they're not always going to bend the arm and create the quote-unquote power pocket on their way through. They're just going to swing their arm straight through, and it's not going to have the same effect, right? I'm going to try to demonstrate it with my right arm. I'm going to try to lock out my arm. Yep. Still bent my arm just a tiny bit, but as you saw, my release is completely off, because you really have no good tell of where the disc is going to come out of your hand. When you bend your arm, what you're doing is you're creating a whipping motion, so that as your arm explodes from the bent back to straight, there's going to be a point in time where it doesn't matter how strong you are, the disc is going to rip out of your hand. And if you have the whip in the right direction, it's going to be down the fairway. Hit the line I wanted, just pulled it a tiny bit on towards the right. There we go. See what I mean? Hit the line you want and continue to narrow in and just be super accurate. Then we can work on throwing further. We'll talk about that next. So far we've been very slow, controlled, methodical. What we're gonna do here is be a little bit still slow, controlled, and methodical. We're gonna add a little bit of pace to it, right? So once you've gotten your walk up and you can hit that weight shift transfer, once you can hit that arm snap and having everything directly in the line you want it to be, then you can start throwing it a little bit harder, and you'll be able to trust that your hip point is going to be straight. That might be parked. See what I mean? Add your accuracy first and then work on acquiring the speed. The speed will come with practice. The accuracy will only come if you practice. I know it sounds like I said the same thing, but there is a difference. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I am using the Spore. It's a 1-speed, very glidey putter. Being a 1-speed, if you really torque it over or you really crank on it, it's gonna notice and it's gonna show you what you're doing. So these, I have them in my bag, but also they're great teaching tools to help it kind of show what you're doing, because if you're a little off but you're still a slow arm speed, the mid-ranges might counteract for that. It might it might help you out in those sticky situations. The putters, especially 1-speeds, if you're a little off, it's gonna show you. So working on being smooth, so I'm gonna be throwing these putters down here. I'm gonna add a good bit of power to these. Like I'm gonna walk up a little bit quicker. I'm still not gonna do a full run up, but I wanna see how smooth I can get them to come out of my hand and just hold a really slow anhyzer and maybe fade out at the very end. We'll see what happens. Oh, came out a lot more than I thought it would. I can actually put some anhyzer on these. See, you can really throw them and be very accurate, but you don't have to run up to do so. You can walk up and still throw things hard and have a lot more accuracy that way. Everything I've told you so far is going to be really helpful if you're just starting out and getting into it, or even if you started disc golf and you're like, I think I've reached a point. How do I get past that point? All of these things might possibly help you. What is going through my brain as I'm throwing these shots, however, it is very different because I've been playing for a very, very, very long time. And when you go to throw a shot after your like 10,000th throw, your arm kind of knows what to do, right? So I'm thinking about where I need the shot to be in the sky. So right here, you can see the basket straight ahead. I don't want to mess with the power cables or the power pole, so I'm going to try to swing an anhyzer wide to the left and bring it back into the basket. I'm going to be thinking about a couple of things in my walk up. My walking up, I'm going to make sure that I don't start to throw until my right foot hits. Once my right foot hits, everything can explode from there, but until my right foot hits, if I go to throw, it's going to look like a dying duck. Second thing I'm thinking about is I'm visualizing the line. So I'm picking out specific points in the sky where I'm visualizing where the disc is going to be. So it's giving me an exact representation of what it's going to do once it leaves my hand. All I have to do then is just to do it. Another thing that I'm really focusing on right now that I wasn't really focusing on before, and it's really helped my accuracy, is thinking about where my throwing shoulder is stopping at when I throw the disc. Before, when I was trying to throw hyzers, I could throw a hyzer here, or I could throw a hyzer here, and I really never knew what was going to happen, so I never threw hyzers because it was a complete spray and I had no consistency or accuracy. I worked a lot more on anhyzers because it was actually working out for me, so I have a really good representation of like where I want my shoulder to stop when I'm throwing an anhyzer. Now I'm working on hyzers. Now I have to force myself to think, step with your right foot, stop your shoulder. Step with your right foot, stop your shoulder. And that's really what's going through my brain when I'm throwing these tough shots. I'm like, step with your right foot, stop the shoulder, and then your arm's just gonna do what it knows how to do. Hopefully that's helpful if you're really working on trying to get a lot more accuracy and consistency with your game. This could be something that might help. A little bit too much anhyzer. Oh, no, I pulled that one to the right. Let me way further right. The line I'm envisioning here is, see that tall skinny tree where it's got like branches at the middle and then branches up above? I'm looking at the spot in between the two branches right next to the tree, and I'm trying to put my disc right there in my brain on anhyzer so that as it's going towards the tree, it's going to work itself away from the tree. That's better. That's the shot I was going for with the first two. I just didn't stop my shoulder in the right spot, and then they went way too far to the right. Now you might have seen me in previous videos running up, and that's because I was having an issue where with my walk up, I wasn't placing my feet in the right direction, or my hips were a little bit off, so I couldn't quite get the full weight transfer that I needed to get the full length shots. And so while I still could throw somewhat impressively far for a lot of different AMs, it wasn't allowing me to really reach the full distance potential. And even the professionals say there is a cap on how far you can throw with your arm. Now, the cap on how far you can throw with just using your arm is a lot further than the cap is when you throw just using the weight transfer, but when you pair them up together, that's where the big distance comes out. So we're gonna work a little bit on the run up, trying to make sure that my hips are really firing through the shot, and we'll see what happens. This is where you really need to be precise. So I'm really focusing here on two things: foot placement and shoulder placement. If I get my foot down and then I get my shoulder stopped at the right point in time, boom, the throw is amazing. If it's not exactly that, it's gonna be iffy. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what disc you're throwing. If you hit it right, it's gonna go. Would it really be one of my videos without a drive off here at some point in time? We're here, we're gonna do the 4 different throws. Stand still, slow walk up, quicker walk up, and then a run up, and we'll see what happens. All of these are gonna be precise placement shots. I'm gonna be trying to land them in exact locations. First one, stand still. Just to the left of that thing down there is the short tee pad, so that's where we're gonna try to put it. And I forgot how far that these glide. All right, it's gonna give me a good gauge for this one though. Slow walk up. We're gonna put it past the tall grass, but still kind of in that cut fairway. Oh yeah. We're gonna go faster walk up. This one's gonna be kind of in that same line, but on the other side of that ridge that the green one hit it on. Oh. Kind of the same idea, but this one we're gonna try to not turn over. We're gonna make sure that this one stays on hyzer the entire time. Oh, perfect. I did bring one other disc out here. Brought one other disc because I want to show you what real distance potential can look like if you're actually snapping together all the different form changes. This is an Essence, so it's only an 8-speed. It's very glidey fairway driver. I'm gonna pop it on some hyzer and see how far this disc can actually go. Didn't turn, didn't fade. It basically stayed perfectly straight and level for like 400 feet. Didn't give it any air, just dead straight laser beam. That's what your form changes can do when you're finally hitting everything together. If you enjoy content like this, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment down below. I read all the comments, and if it's a good idea, I'll probably turn into a video. And make sure to subscribe. I have plenty of giveaways going on right now. It helps you out and it helps me out. Until next time, guys, see you out on the course. From now until the end of June, I am having a secret giveaway with this spore. If you watch this far, congratulations, but you're not entered just yet. To get this spore, there are going to be 7 videos until the end of June that have this little stuffed fox. If you can spot this little stuffed fox somewhere on the course, these end videos don't count. And on the 7th video, say final. If you commented on the 8th video or the 6th video, it's not going to count. It has to be the 7th. So you have to really pay attention to all the little spots around the course. But if you comment final on the final 7th video with this fox, you'll be entered in to win this amazing spore with the super swirls in it. Amazing stamp. Beautiful. All right, bye.